What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 17 of the Game Room Podcast. I'm your host, Rome, alongside my co-host, Dev. How you doing tonight, Dev?
Hey, what's up? I'm doing good.
Forrest is not here. Once again, he has a glitch in the mainframe, and he will not be with us tonight. But producer Jeff is here. Producer Jeff, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. A little tired after last night.
It was a really long night. For those wondering what Jeff's talking about, we did our AEW Revolution watch along and review last night. Thought it went very well. I had a blast with everybody hanging out with us. If you like wrestling and you want to get our thoughts on the pay-per-view, go check it out from yesterday. It was an awesome night. But in the meantime, we have a great show lined up for you guys here tonight. We're doing a Rockstar tier list of all the Rockstar games. We're going to be talking about Sony being forced to reveal their secrets to Microsoft, and also some other little things like a new Elden Ring expansion. So let's get right into the news headlines. Number one on the headlines, like I said, a new Elden Ring expansion is in development. Let's see here. Internet's acting a little slow. Rise, Tarnished, and Let Us Walk a New Path Together. An upcoming expansion of Elden Ring called Shadow of the Erd Tree is currently in development. We hope you look forward to new adventures in the lands between. This obviously, upon its announcement, got a lot of people excited. Elden Ring, one of the biggest of the two games that came out last year. Very close on my backlog. Like, it's very high up there. Like, I'm working on it, Dev.
Right.
You've seen it. We talk about it here weekly on the show. Like, I'm clawing,
Yeah.
trying to get there.
2 to your list, so. But you're getting there. I get it.
You see the work. You see the attempt. It's not that I'm not trying.
Yeah,
I'm legit. There's a lot. There is a lot. Also, what up to everybody in the chat? The Doge is here. He says Doge is the real rock star. I appreciate that. Yeah, man. So there wasn't really a lot of details given. We did get some really cool looking concept art. Man, again, Elden Ring it's on my list. I got to get there. This expansion coming out will probably be a nice initiative to try to get me to get to that point.
Yeah.
But number two in the headlines, IO Interactive has announced their next project. IO Interactive being the developers behind the Hitman franchise. They're announcing their new project. It's a new IP set in a new world, an online fantasy RPG. Quote unquote, they will revolutionize the online fantasy RPG genre, coming to consoles and PC. IO is currently significantly hiring for the dev team for the project. IO Interactive, Dev, an absolutely really underrated developer.
Yeah, I'm excited for whatever they put out. Like, it just sounds a lot of fun, and they're looking to push it. So
There's also another kind of concept art, and we'll have to see where it goes, but it definitely looks promising.
yeah, very fantasy. Just the art itself is very fantasy, very pretty looking. Something I'm interested in already.
Yeah, absolutely. IO they just do a great job with the Hitman games, the new Hitman games. I didn't play the third one, but I played the first two, and they're so good. They're just excellent games. I'm excited for them. I love seeing these developers kind of chasing their passion projects. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They could just make another 5 Hitman games, or they could make this game they really want to make.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. All right, number 3 on the headlines. Beyond Good and Evil 2 has more issues. So Dev, have you ever played Beyond Good and Evil, the original?
I played about an hour of it, and I didn't get through it.
Okay.
It was fun. I want to go back and finish it. I'm just surprised that this is still in development. I thought this is one of the ones they would have canned.
Yeah.
Because they canned a lot of games, and we didn't hear about this game for so long.
No.
So.
The Coog is here. What's up, Coog? How you doing, man?
What they showed from us, it looked promising.
It continues to look promising, but they keep showing it off every year, and we just don't see they don't show it off every year. I remember they had who was it? Was it the guy that played Frodo? He came out or something. There was somebody that came out, or maybe it was Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Maybe I don't remember.
They revealed it at E3 8 years ago, and someone came out and he's like, "Yeah, this is the game world that these guys are building," and it looked so interesting.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, we'll see everybody in 20 years. I don't know. I think this is for me reaching Duke Nukem Forever levels of ridiculousness and Skull and Bones levels of ridiculousness. This is the difference though, because they went in and we haven't heard from them.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
not like Skull and Bones are like, it's coming out next year. It's coming out the year after that.
Yeah,
It's
that's
coming out
true.
the year after that.
Didn't inquire about.
They have been, but they are having some issues. Um, the status of the title continues to be in flux. The news is not looking good for them. According to a new report from Kotaku, the studio behind the game, their managing director is no longer with the company as a labor investigation is taking place. The report claims that local authorities are investigating the studio, quote, over an unprecedented number of developers experiencing burnout and going on sick leave. Guilherme Carmona had been absent for some time, but it was told to staff last week that he would not be returning to the company. In a statement given to Kotaku, Ubisoft says health and well-being of its employees are at the top of the company's priority list. The quote is, "The health and wellness of our teams is an ongoing priority. Given the length of the development cycle of Beyond Good and Evil 2, the Montepeller, which is the studio development team, is undergoing well-being, assessments through a third party for preventative measures and to evaluate where additional support may be needed."
I
Not
wonder if this is a team that was like affected heavily with COVID, and they're all trying to work from home and get this done. And yeah, I don't know. It seems like it's not good development right now.
I think a lot of Ubisoft right now is just not good
They're
development.
bringing in third party like health and wellness people just to check on them.
Yeah,
It's just
you know it's bad when you're going to a third party company. Like, hey, can you just make sure our employees are like mentally well?
yeah,
Like, that's not good.
yeah. That's not good.
Coog in the chat saying can't wait for us to review AEW Fight Forever when it gets released. I know, man. The announcement should be imminent, according to Tony Khan. We should be getting over that release date anytime now. The game is finished. He said that last night. It is done. That didn't make the headlines, but he did say that the game is done.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be really
I
good.
hope they show a trailer or something.
Producer Jeff's also extremely excited for AEW Fight Forever. But let's move on to the next headline. Hopefully Ubisoft Montepiler can get it together and we can see Beyond Good and Evil sometime this generation. Speaking of developers just not getting it together at all. Forspoken's developer is being folded back into Square Enix. Forspoken developer Luminous Productions will be absorbed back into Square Enix to continue working on their AAA games, the company has announced. On Twitter, Luminous Productions revealed that the change will go into effect at the beginning of May. They say, beginning on May 1st, our talented team will join Square Enix to deliver new, innovative gaming experiences to players across the globe. The statement reads, between now and then, we remain entirely focused on Forspoken. We are currently on the previously announced patch, working on the previously announced patch to address overall game performance. We will deliver an update soon, and the DLC, In Tanto We Trust, is on track for release this summer. Thank you again for your patience and support. Square Enix also released a statement saying in part that the merger is part of the company's efforts to further bolster the competitive prowess of the group's development studios, and that Luminous Productions Co. Ltd. is meanwhile equipped not only with AAA title development capabilities, but also technical expertise in areas such as game engine development. Combining the two entities will further enhance the group's ability to develop HD games. This is just a very long PR speak for their game did not do well. We let them do their own thing, and now we're bringing them back in because Forspoken underdelivered.
Yeah, I guess it's
That's what it is.
I like when new IPs go out there. I think you should nurture a company. It kind of sucks that they're cutting them off so short.
I agree with that though. I do think that like I'm not saying I agree with Square Enix doing it, but like that's what it is. Like if this game had come out and it was a big success, Square Enix would absolutely not be closing the studio and bringing all the employees back into Square Enix.
Yeah.
They would be in, like you said, nurturing them and saying like, hey, you guys made a great game here. Like, what can we do to support you? You know, as a studio that's still working with Square Enix.
Yeah.
But it sucks to see. It's just another tale of AAA game development and how you gotta make sure these games are good when they come out. Like it's just a cycle in the games industry where the games come out, they're not good, and we just keep on rolling. But
Yeah.
at some point, people gotta stop buying these bad games. Moving on to number 5 on the news headlines. Xbox has some GoldenEye type announcements planned ahead of their summer showcase. According to Xbox boss Phil Spencer, They are planning some, his words, GoldenEye type announcements planned in the coming months ahead of their showcase in June. Earlier this year, Xbox Game Studios shed some light on Redfall, Minecraft Legends, Forza Motorsport, and unveiled Hi-Fi Rush during their developer direct. They then confirmed that Xbox would be holding a summer showcase in June, but it seems like we may have some more big announcements coming before then. In an interview with Xbox On, Phil Spencer. That must have been a really tough. I wonder if they were around during the Xbox One days when the Kinect was there.
Yeah.
Do you ever see the videos of like people playing multiplayer like Call of Duty and they would just be like Xbox off? You just hear it shuts off.
No, I
Yeah.
didn't know that was a thing.
No, it's happened. It was amazing. But anyways, in an interview with Xbox On, Phil Spencer was asked if there were any big reveals coming from Xbox before the summer showcase in June. He replied, "So a lot of our focus right now is on the showcase in June, but there is some news that's coming out. Like we did the GoldenEye announcement, I'm thinking like, GoldenEye type announcements. So there'll be games available in different services. Obviously, the Game Pass portfolio continues to grow, but most of our focus as a team is really on getting ready for the showcase. We've got Redfall coming, Minecraft Legends coming, Starfield's coming, Forza's coming. So I love the fact that the portfolio's here and people are starting to play, and starting off the year with Hi-Fi Rush was so fantastic." Devin, what do you think these GoldenEye type announcements could be? I mean, when I think of GoldenEye type announcement, honestly, I think of like, are they going to release another Rare game?
Yeah, that's what I think of. An old Rare game, make it multiplayer, or split screen or something. Bring it up.
So this would never happen. But could you never?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, what did you want? What did you want to see from it?
So what I would do, and again, this is going into the Rare thing. I would release Donkey Kong 64 on the Switch and the Xbox.
No.
It'll never happen. Never happen.
Yeah.
It won't ever happen.
Yeah.
This is not.
I can already tell you what it's gonna be.
What do you think it's gonna be?
It's gonna be a re-release of Perfect Dark, just like they released GoldenEye.
That makes more sense.
That was gonna be my second point.
Yeah, that makes
that more realistic. That would be a very smart idea, especially with the new Perfect Dark coming out in a few years.
Yeah.
That is my second favorite game of all time.
Yeah, I know you mentioned that a few.
Have you played
episodes ago? Yeah, I played Perfect
Yeah.
Dark. I haven't finished Perfect Dark, but I did finish Perfect Dark 0 on 360. Actually, that's not true. I made it to like the second to last level. The second to last level was like, I was trying to play through on like a higher difficulty for achievements, and like I made it to so far in the game, and like out of pride, like I just couldn't beat it, and I was like, you know what?
Oh, that's rough.
I'm done. Walked away. Didn't finish the game.
Oh.
But it is what it is. It wasn't that Perfect Dark 0 wasn't that great, admittedly. But I enjoyed Perfect Dark, like the original Perfect Dark, much more. But yeah, looking forward to see what Xbox has coming down the pipeline. Again, we've talked about a lot. This is a big year for them, not just because of the Activision stuff, but because this is the year where they're supposed to be starting to crank out these games. And I mean, it's looking good right now. I think it looks very promising for them right now.
And isn't there a new Perfect Dark game in the making? I'm pretty sure I saw a commercial for.
Yeah, we were talking about that a few episodes ago. Yeah, they're making.
So that would make sense to release this to get people hyped again.
Yep. But we will see what's in the future for Xbox down the road. Next up, number 6 on the news headlines. More than 200 Pokemon will be returning to Scarlet and Violet, according to a data mine. A large number of older Pokemon have been added due to the DLC, according to the data mine. The list of 223 Pokemon from previous titles in the series was uncovered by a data miner by the name of Matt Yukana. They spotted that the 1.2.0 update for the game had removed the hidden Pokedex entries for a significant number of creatures from previous games in the series. There is a list. I did not click on the list.
Okay.
I didn't want to know.
Okay. That's still like super exciting though.
Yeah, when you say 200, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's
because again, we talked last week about the Pokemon Presents, and like they should have said that during the Presents.
Yeah, that's what you should say.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like that's why
a big deal.
That's why I'm saying it was such a bad show from them last week, because like you could have at least said that. If you had like they showed a picture of 5 Pokemon, like guys, some Pokemon, they're coming back. Be like, no, we have 200 fucking Pokemon coming back.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, strap up. Probably 100 for each DLC.
Yeah.
I'm down. Let's do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, good news for them. I am looking forward to the DLC, but I just wish we would have seen a little bit more. That would have been nice news for them to say last week. Number 7 on the news headlines. Square Enix president Yosuke Matsuda is stepping down from the company. Oh, gee. I wonder why. Maybe it was his yearly New Year's letters about how NFTs were the future of gaming that did him in. Following comes from Game Informer. Yosuke Matsuda, president and representative director of Square Enix, is stepping down after 10 years in the position. The official announcement states that he will be replaced by the relatively new, here we go, Takahashi Kiryu, that actually wasn't that bad, a company director who joined Square in 2020 as part of an organizational restructuring. The proposed change will be voted for approval at the 43rd annual shareholders meeting in June. Square Enix's reason for change is as follows. Under the rapid change of business environment surrounding the entertainment industry, the proposed change is intended to reshape the management team with the goal of adopting ever-evolving technological innovations and maximizing on the creativity of the company's group in order to deliver even greater entertainment to its customers around the world. Um, I just I'm sure that the company, like, this statement kind of tells me that they're like, when they say they're focusing on like the technological innovations and stuff, I still think they're going to push NFTs. I just think that they're looking for someone younger to do it.
Hmm.
That's how I read it, at least. Um,
I don't know. A lot of places that started with the NFT talk have definitely backed down. Like there's a lot of quietness going on in NFTs right now, which is I
yeah,
think
but
it's a good thing in terms of gaming. So I don't know if that's the move.
So this happens in the world of crypto. Crypto is like it's like a wavelength thing. It goes up and down, up and down. So right now it's kind of like on the lull. We're on the downside.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, still not a fan of it. Don't really care for it. But I mean, Matsuda was obviously a vocal advocate for the NFTs and blockchain gaming and all that stuff. So I mean, I'm okay. Like, I don't really want think spaces like that in gaming, to be honest. I mean, obviously, it's important for everyone to have their opinion, but I think stuff like that is just by nature sleazy. We've talked about it on the show before, but I can't get down with it. But number 8 on the news headlines. A new Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi was announced last night during the AEW pay-per-view. I actually wasn't on checking Twitter because we were watching it, but I went on Twitter this morning, and yeah, it was announced. I was kind of hoping that Forrest was going to be here tonight because I was like, oh, I'll talk to Forrest about this. Did you ever play the Tenkaichi games?
Probably before us, but
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so this is I'm excited for this. I mean, I grew up playing the Budokai Tenkaichi games or the Budokai games. 1 and 3 were my favorites. I didn't really care for 2 that much. But yeah, this was really exciting. Then there wasn't like a lot shown, but there was kind of like a little video, a little clip. I think it was literally just a GIF of Goku powering up. So we'll see where we go with this. But yeah, I'm excited to see more Dragon Ball Z games. I think the games have been pretty good in recent years, so I think it's good. All right, let's get to number 9 and number 10 of the news headlines. Now it is Microsoft Activision acquisition time, but there was again some big news, some actual legitimate news in the cycle. Um, so first up, The Verge was reporting that Reuters is reporting that the Microsoft Activision deal is likely to be approved by EU regulators. Um, the software giant struck licensing deals with Nintendo and Nvidia recently, and these deals are likely to satisfy lawmakers in Europe to help Microsoft clear its Activision acquisition, says Reuters. The European Commission is reportedly unlikely to demand that Microsoft sell any Activision Blizzard assets as a condition of regulatory approval. That's a contrast to the UK's Competition and Markets Authority, which offered up possible remedies last month that include Microsoft being forced to sell off Call of Duty. EU regulators are scheduled to decide on Microsoft Activision's deal by April 25th, but it appears that these last-minute licensing agreements with Nintendo and Nvidia will help them win the favor of the European Commissions, which we talked about last week, and I definitely thought that this was a smart move for them to get Nvidia and Nintendo, who are direct competitors with them, on board with this Call of Duty 10-year deal. and Sony is just continuously sitting on the sidelines. And you could argue that they're fighting to get the best deal possible, and I get that. But at this point, it kind of feels like they're just fighting this losing battle. I mean, it's looking like it's going to go through in time.
Yeah, but I think what they're fighting for, I think they're getting a little bit of it. I heard there's going to be some licensing deals that Microsoft's going to have to make in order for it to go through. So,
well, that's what they've been doing, and that's what they want to do with Sony. They've said they want to make a licensing
but I
deal
think
with
they want
PlayStation.
something. I think they want something better than the 10-year one, which I like I said before. I think I agree with that. I think 10 years isn't enough time.
Well, I had seen that Sony's deal isn't even just a 10-year deal. It's a, hey, you can put your game on PlayStation Plus. It's a pretty sweet deal from what I've heard last. So I think it's a great deal for them, and I think that.
Well, I think that's what they were fighting for. So that's the deal, and yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean they've been making the deal. Again, like I really, I obviously you see the value in them bringing Call of Duty exclusively to Xbox, but it was the same thing with Minecraft, which we talked about like ad nauseum. Like you look at the way that they're pushing Minecraft, like they weren't going to put Call of Duty exclusively to Xbox. I just didn't think they were going to. They want to get.
But again,
if you went to Phil Spencer,
you're
right?
not going to take away. You're not going to say, okay, Minecraft, which is on PlayStation, is now only on. We're taking it off of PlayStation, but you're not.
But all the new Minecraft games are coming to PlayStation. That's my point. The IP is still coming out with new releases on PlayStation.
Yeah, that makes sense though.
No, it doesn't. They're different games. They're different games. Just because Minecraft was on PlayStation doesn't mean anything. Like,
but it's an IP. It's a more of a family IP that you put everywhere. Whereas like
Call of Duty, even though it's not family oriented,
Elder Scrolls you can put everywhere, but we know that Elder Scrolls is going to be Xbox.
That's going to be an Xbox.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It makes more sense for titles like that.
But that makes sense because that's going to draw in a more hardcore audience. Xbox doesn't want, like, obviously Xbox wants the casuals, but when you look at Minecraft and Call of Duty, you're talking about a casual, cool like audience, and it's billions of people. Like it's a lot of people.
Yeah.
But for them, they just want people in the ecosystem. That's what we talked about with Game Pass. Like people say, how is Game Pass making money? It's not making a lot of money in the long run, but well, I mean, actually, that's not true. They said it is making money.
Yeah, it is making.
It is making money. I'm sorry. But they're bringing people into the ecosystem. That's what they want. They may not make money off someone subscribing for 1 month, but they're going to make money for people continuously subscriing.
And that's the way to do that is to have exclusives.
If you went to Phil Spencer right now, right, and you're like, hey, Phil, what's the number one thing you would want Xbox to do right now? Snap your finger, it happens. I would bet money he would say to put Game Pass on PlayStation. That's what he would want.
Yeah, probably.
That's 100% what they want. The whole point is it's a new way of looking at video games where obviously they're going to sell their box. And they're going to sell their box for people like me who love the ecosystem. But they are going to give you different barriers and different levels of entry where, like, maybe you don't want an Xbox. You could just download the Xbox app on your Samsung TV. Or you could just go on your, Steam and you can buy the Xbox games there. And obviously you have PC Game Pass, like, and the phones. They want to get more into the mobile space. I wouldn't be surprised if they have a dedicated, like, mobile Game Pass somehow. I know most mobile games are kind of like microtransaction-y, but like I wouldn't be surprised in like the next 5 to 10 years they have some sort of Game Pass for phones.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what they want to do. They want people in the ecosystem.
I agree with that, but also you don't spend $70 billion on a company just to like give it all away again.
But you're going to make that money back in sales, and also you're still looking at, like, obviously Call of Duty is the biggest asset. Not saying it isn't, but like there is going to be more avenues of profit here and revenue. They are going to have these other IPs that are going to be exclusive. They're eventually going to make a Spyro game, and it's going to be exclusive to Xbox. Yeah. They're going to make a Crash Bandicoot game, probably the same. They're going to revive. Maybe they'll make another Guitar Hero. I don't know. But they have a lot of IP that they can work with, a lot of backlog they can work with. Number one, these games are all going to come to Game Pass. Number two, they're going to be, so that's going to be more revenue for people that are looking for more games to play on Game Pass. They're going to make new titles that are not Call of Duty, and those are going to make money too. They have King, which is part of the whole deal, the mobile marketplace, or the mobile developer. There's a lot of reasons why they want to get, it's all about the ecosystem. It's just getting people in the door, and they're going to sell this company's Call of Duty on PlayStation.
How do you get people into your ecosystem? You have the best services for them. You have the stuff that only you can get from Game Pass.
Sure, and I understand that, but
That's why
yeah.
that's why you fight. That's why Sony's fighting for it. That's
I
why
get that. I do.
It makes sense.
But I think that at the end of the day, they're going to make money even if it's non-exclusive on Xbox. Is my point. They're going to make that 69 billion back. Like that's what I'm saying. Or 68.7 billion
Mhm.
because they're going to put it on PlayStation. People are going to buy $70 Call of Duty game on PlayStation. And if they put it on PlayStation Plus, that's more money that PlayStation's going to probably end up giving back to Xbox, paying, excuse me, for Call of Duty.
Yeah, probably.
They're gonna make that money back. Like I don't think it's a question of whether like this money like this is a great deal for them, like in general.
Mhm.
Activision's selling because it's a poorly run company. Like they're like the shit that they're dealing with. You have labor unions popping up, sexual harassment, Cosby room issues going
I
on.
wish
Like,
I could agree with that, but Bobby Kotick's still sitting at the top. If that was true, he wouldn't be at the top.
but he is. But here's the thing: Bobby Kotick is
And if it doesn't
he's
go
getting
through,
a golden
he's still
parachute.
staying.
If you
But I'm saying if the deal doesn't go through, he's still staying there. I don't.
right because
I don't
you keep
think.
making that money. That's what I'm saying. That's why
Yeah,
they're
But
selling.
I'm saying that.
They don't need to sell.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But they don't want to. They don't want to deal with it.
It's Microsoft put 70 billion on the table. That's why they're selling. That's the only reason why.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I know. I agree with that.
It's
That's
not
what I'm
because
saying.
they're doing bad. It's not because of the
Right, but I'm
allegations.
saying that the company's dealing with so much bullshit. Wouldn't you take that money? That's what I'm saying. Like Bobby Kotick's gonna get a golden parachute.
Oh yeah.
Like if you were laid out like, hey, you're running this company right now, you're making millions of dollars, but you're dealing with all this bullshit that you caused. I'm not saying he didn't cause it,
Mhm.
but you're dealing with
Absolutely.
all these lawsuits and labor things and all this stuff at the expense of being a millionaire. On the flip side, someone could just say, hey, here's that money you were gonna make plus more to retire.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, of course he's gonna sell. But
Hey, gentlemen, I hate to interrupt you here, but we have just reached our 500th subscriber. Dale Williams, number 500. Thank you very much, everybody, for all your subs this month and forever as well. It's been an awesome ride here to 500, so we will be giving away. I actually have it handy right here. The Sting figure. It is a rare Sting with the trench coat on and the baseball bat. Tune in on Wednesday and we will give all the details on what's going on with that giveaway. So thank you guys again very much.
yes, thank you everyone
Nice.
so much. It's been so fucking awesome to see us, get to this point. 500 is the first milestone. At least for me, it was. But yeah, thank you so much, Dale, for the subscription. Really appreciate it. And yeah, we're gonna keep on. We're gonna keep on. Yeah, we're gonna keep rolling along.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was pretty much it. You ready to move on to the second part of this Microsoft stuff?
Yeah.
I love this. This is great. This is super enjoyable. So, if you recall, previously, Microsoft sent a 50-page subpoena to Sony. Sony wanted to fight this deal and get all up in it, which, you can argue whether it's right of them or not. Sony was like, we don't think we should have to give Microsoft all these things. Well, a judge has ruled mostly in Microsoft's favor, saying that they have denied the FTC has denied Sony's motion and ordered the company to produce the documents requested by Microsoft's subpoena. The motion was granted in part, but also denied in part. So basically, Microsoft requested their history of exclusivity deals. Sony was able to get it, so they only have to provide January 2019 and forward, so nothing before then. But other things were mostly granted. The only thing that was denied, like in full, was let's see, it was about performance reviews or evaluations of the CEO as well as employees that report directly to leadership or management. That was the only thing that they straight up denied, saying that Sony does not have to give. Um, I would love, I don't know if this is going to become public or not. I would love to know how much, how much and what Sony's exclusivity blocking. I would love to know how much Sony paid for Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm dying to know how much money they paid just to keep it off your competitor, which, I mean, we talk about all the time. I'm not a fan of it. I'm more of a let's build ourselves up business practice. If you're going into it with the mindset of like, oh hey, like let's make sure we keep this off our like if you have this money, it's like let's make sure we keep this off of Xbox's Game Pass service. I would much
Has any
rather
final
get that money and invest it in like your own games and like have your own service be better. Like why can't you take that money and bring in more games for the PlayStation Plus because that service is honestly terrible, and I have both, so I can tell you.
But again, I think it's the same thing with the Microsoft thing. I don't see anything wrong with paying for games on your platform, buying your games on your platform. Hey, I want to make this exclusive. Let's make a deal. Money helps you make a better game. Putting it on our platform only helps us. It's a win-win deal.
See, for me, it's different. We talked about this previously. It's like Bayonetta. Like Bayonetta was not going to continue if Nintendo didn't pay for it. That's where that makes sense to me. But like, if Final Fantasy VII Remake is being made, no matter what, period, it's coming out. They even announced that it's coming to Xbox,
Yeah, I remember the original.
and then it just doesn't. Like, because Sony paid for it. Like, I don't know. Like, again, we can agree to disagree. I just find that generally really scummy. I don't like it. I would much rather them focus on the
company. Microsoft's doing that too, you know. So it's like
I think Microsoft's doing it to build up their portfolio. They're spending this money to build up their portfolio.
And Sony isn't?
No, they're not. Microsoft is sitting here and they're taking in these studios.
That sounds very hypocritical.
I don't think it's hypocritical at all.
Microsoft just bought like all of these companies in the past, I don't know, 10 years.
Right, because they want to take on responsibility to build their portfolio.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing.
The same as Sony
because they're going to be paying for these games. They're going to be paying to make these games. They're going to be overseeing the development of these games. So the difference is Sony did not make Final Fantasy. Like, we're going to use Final Fantasy VII Remake because that's the one that still gets me fucking furious to this day. I love that game. It's one of my favorite games of the last 10 years to come out. Like, fell in love with it.
Mm-hmm.
It gave me a new appreciation for the original, which I had played during the pandemic for the first time. Fucking fell in love with this game. And I will gladly pay for it twice to have it on PS5. I would have gladly paid for it on Xbox again. I would have double dipped on this game, absolutely, just to get the achievements for it as well. But instead, I'm sitting here
I
like
think that's what you're a little salty about, is you couldn't get achievements for this game and
No,
play it a second time.
no. Yes, I was looking for a great reason to play it a second time,
Yeah.
and I don't have that, and that makes me upset. But it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, this game was made regardless of Sony. So Sony's looking at it. Xbox is looking at their studios like, okay, we need to invest in studios so we can make more games and build up our portfolio.
So
and we can make these games.
You don't think any of the money that Sony bought to make that game exclusive is going into the development of the game? Because if it is, I disagree with you.
I would mostly think no. I think they probably paid for marketing. They probably paid for the marketing.
It's the same thing with Starfield. When Microsoft bought Starfield was already in development. And all they did was put in a bunch of cash and then helped.
Yeah, but the game was still being worked on.
Yeah, the game was still being worked on. But
it was still in like the early stages. Devroro, like this, Microsoft bought Bethesda at this point 2 years ago, 2.5 years, like 2 years ago.
Yeah, but the game was still.
The game isn't even out yet. It's not done yet. It's not done yet.
I get that, but it was still being worked on. I feel like this deal is something that has been going on for a while because
all
the
I'm saying
Final
is
Fantasy game never the first remake never came to Xbox, right?
7 remake.
Yeah, so
it's supposed to. That's what we're talking about.
That's what I'm saying. So imagine this deal.
But Crisis Core did. They remade Crisis Core, the PSP one, and it came to Xbox.
Yeah.
Like because Sony didn't want to shell out the money for a PSP game.
But I mean, but that's what I'm saying. That deal was made back then, and now Final Fantasy 14 is, I believe it is.
16.
16.
16 is a PlayStation exclusive.
Exclusive, yeah. So that's why I feel like it's the same thing. It's the companies are putting out money to make this.
But then see my thing, and I understand your point. I don't disagree.
I just want Sony to buy Square Enix so that we can stop having this.
Yes, absolutely. And for me, that's how I look at it. So it's like if you want Final Fantasy so badly, buy Square Enix, make it yourself. That's how I look at it. And you can say it's weird. I don't care.
I do think it's weird. I don't think you need to buy, especially. Like,
I think if you're going to make it,
studios,
if you're going to,
they have years of history together.
If you are going to sit there and completely just say we're going to pay so it doesn't go on Xbox, like okay, just fucking buy Square Enix then.
Maybe it's cheaper. It's all money, right?
I hear you. I get it.
Hey, pay me this amount of money. We'll make sure the game goes in there. We'll use the money.
And look, ultimately,
developers.
It doesn't matter to me. Whatever it comes out on, I'm gonna play it if I want to play it. I have an Xbox Series X.
Like a diehard fan of Final Fantasy owns a PlayStation. They're in the PlayStation ecosystem. It's just you're not a diehard Final Fantasy fan, and you're on Xbox.
I don't think that's a fair thing to say.
I agree, but if you could find someone who's a diehard Final Fantasy fan and they don't have a PlayStation, I'd be honestly very surprised.
I'm not saying that they might not have a PlayStation.
100% agree.
I'm just saying that no, I don't think that's 100% fair to look at.
But it's a very Sony.
People,
it is.
Xbox,
but for you to say that there's nobody that likes JRPGs who only own an Xbox and a Switch, like
It's not that. It's Final Fantasy in general.
Yes.
In particular.
I will say,
Actually, I think I agree with what you just said.
Yeah.
JRPGs. If you're a big fan of JRPGs, you're probably in the PlayStation ecosystem because JRPGs have been like.
sure, and I'm not
Yeah.
arguing that, but my thing is that you can't. I think it's egregious to say that there's not a JRPG fan base on the Xbox ecosystem.
Oh yeah, that's what I think.
Because I've like we saw it with the Xbox community, or at least I've seen, because I spent a lot of time on Twitter looking at both communities. Like the Xbox community was clamoring for the Persona games to come to Xbox, and when they did, everyone lost their fucking mind. That wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen if there wasn't a JRPG fan base on the Xbox, begging the Xbox to invest in JRPGs.
Yeah, but if you're a JRPG fan, you go to the store and you want to get a system, you're going to get the PS5. If you're like JRPGs are my bread and butter, it wouldn't be very smart of you to go into.
So my counter argument to that is there are probably people who can't afford. Like, I'm a very blessed individual to have a PS5, an Xbox Series X, and a Switch. Like, I'm not trying to put you on blast. You don't have it. You have a Switch. You don't even have a Series X or a PS5.
Yeah, no.
Right, and then these things are $600 machines.
Yeah.
They cost a lot of money. It's really difficult to do that. And if you really like the Xbox ecosystem, because like here's the thing. Yes, I like the Xbox UI better. I like the controller better. I like a lot of things that the Xbox does better than I like the PlayStation, what they do. And that's fine. That's fair. Right. But my thing is like you can't say like, well, this person could only buy one and they love JRPGs, but they also love other games in general. And for them, they had to look at were they going to enjoy using more? It's like an Android to iPhone like argument. Like, which do you like more? Oh, I like Android more. Like, I like Android more. But I can't go watch the Apple TV stuff. Like, that sucks, but it is what it is. But I'm saying that like that content could be on Xbox. The same way I would like to see like Apple TV shows available. There probably is an Apple TV app. I'm just lazy as fuck. But you get my point. My point is that
point. But I'm saying if you are a fan of JRPGs in general, if that's the game that you sit down and play and you just I love JRPGs. Those are the only games I play. You are in the Sony ecosystem. I think.
I guess what I'm saying is that just because
it can be into Microsoft and it can be into Nintendo. I think Nintendo's dipping into it a lot, but you're primarily a Sony.
But the thing is, I think also that's that is a direct. So like your thinking of this is a direct result of Sony doing their best to keep JRPGs off of the system, off of Xbox. Like that's what they do.
But I don't see anything wrong with it. Like,
see, I do. I think if Xbox wants to expand, which Phil Spencer has said multiple times, we want to expand the JRPG space. But the problem is all of these exclusivity deals in the biggest JRPGs of the genre.
Well, it's like you said before. Then make it. It's not like Microsoft doesn't have the money.
Like for example, right?
Make your own.
Like Octopath Traveler 2, for example. But
I wanted to ask you.
I'll talk about it later. But like Octopath 1 came out on Switch, and then it came out on Xbox. Game Pass digitally. I don't think it had a physical release for Xbox. Didn't come out on PlayStation. This time around, it's coming out on Switch and PS5. Like for me, like that's like so you came on Xbox the first game, but then the second game doesn't. For me, it's coming out on PlayStation. I think for me that's just Sony being like, hey, Square Enix, can we make a deal?
And you don't think Microsoft asked to make a deal with Nintendo for the first game?
I think they made a deal with Square Enix to bring the game, but they weren't paying to not bring it to PlayStation. Is my point. That's my point.
How do you know that?
Because they didn't.
Did it come to PlayStation, the first one?
No.
If it didn't, I'd feel like that's hey.
I don't know.
I'm paying you money to only put it on Xbox for this game.
Look, I'm just telling you.
I just don't see anything wrong with it. Let your company. It sucks. I agree with you that it sucks, but it's what companies do. It's competition. It's money. Money talks.
Yeah. I'm just saying, build yourself.
I still think when Sony does it, you can be like, oh, shame on them, and then when Microsoft does it, you're like,
I don't say. First of all, I
do that a lot.
I do not. So like that, if we were both building sandcastles, and you were building your sandcastle, and I was building my sandcastle, I'm the type of guy going to your sandcastle and being like, let me just pour some water on the sandcastle and kick it and knock it over.
Well, that's not.
I'm working on my own sandcastle. I'm trying to build my sandcastle up. Like if you
you're buying sand to make your sandcastle bigger. Building the sandcastle and saying, hey, stop giving that guy that sand. That's the premium sand. I want that sand.
And then you pay for it.
He's buying $70 billion worth of sand. I can't have the good stuff. I just see it as fair, and I do think Microsoft's doing the same thing. I just think it's companies doing what they do.
Yeah. Well, it's okay to be wrong.
I know you're wrong a lot.
I don't think so.
We still love you here.
All right. Well, let's move on to the game releases of the week for March 6th. First up, today, Dead Cells Return to Castlevania comes out on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Outlanders, Dead Cells Return to Castlevania looks so cool.
Yeah, it does look really cool.
I love the design of that. Outlanders comes out on PC tomorrow on March 7th. Clash, Artifacts of Chaos comes out on PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, PC on March 9th. Fatal Frame, Mask of the Lunar Eclipse comes out on PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on March 9th. IB comes out on Switch on March 9th as well. That was at their Direct not this past one, but the one before that. Looks like kind of like an indie horror game.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Also coming out on March 9th, No by Heart comes out on Switch. Monster Energy Supercross 6 comes out PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, PC on March 9th. Oni, Road to the Mightiest Oni comes out PS5, PS4, Switch, PC on March 9th. Session, Skate Sim comes out on Switch on the 9th. And then on March 9th also, Metroid Fusion, the Game Boy Advance classic, comes to the Switch NSO on the 9th. Before Your Eyes comes out on PSVR 2 on March 10th. And lastly, DC's Justice League Cosmic Chaos comes out PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC on March 10th. Man, Metroid Fusion. I'm excited for that. It's crazy to think that like Metroid's been getting so much love like the last like year since Metroid Dread came out.
Yeah.
Because it was like Metroid Dread. Obviously, we've been waiting on Prime 4 for like 6 years. Which is just,
it's coming. We know.
It is. Well, they had to restart development, so I get it.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But so yeah, for me, Metroid Fusion is kind of the big release, even though it's just a GBA game. It's a great game. Never finished it, but played a good amount of it back in the day. So I'm looking forward to playing that at some. All right. Well, it is time for our topic of the show. We are going to be Dev, I sent you this text as well. Funny story. So, I was watching AEW Dynamite this past Wednesday night, and this sign pops up in the crowd saying that Bully is the best Rockstar.
Yeah, you showed me that.
I did.
Yeah.
And Jeff and I were talking about it on the Broken Tables podcast, and we were kind of briefly talking about it, and Jeff kind of planted the idea in my mind, like, hey, let's do a Rockstar Games tier list maker. We've done a Pokemon one, and I thought this was a good idea. Especially it makes sense with Forrest not being here. Apparently, he's only played like 2 of these games, which was kind of surprising to me. But he's only played 2 of them. So we are. I guess like, it's just kind of hard to believe because Rockstar is like it's Rockstar Games. You know what I mean? Like,
those are the things we were talking about before.
I could tell you which ones he said that he played. He's played GTA 5 and San Andreas, and that's it. Which, to be fair, at least he's played San Andreas.
Yeah, those are good ones.
Yeah. But we're going to get into it here. Real quick, before we get into it, I just wanted to remind everybody to hit the like button and subscribe. We hit 500, as Jeff said earlier. Thank you so much for that. Feel free to, chime in on the chat if you have any thoughts on these games. All right. Jeffrey Vegas, do you have the tier list ready to go? Take your time, sir. No, I'm not going to lie. Some of these games on this tier list, I haven't played. And some of them, even though I barely played, I still have opinions on where they should go. So my thing is, Dev, do you want to like...
Should I give my opinion based on what I've heard about the game, what I know about the game, and where it should go?
That's what I'm asking. So how do you want to handle this? Because with Pokemon, at least one of us has played all of them.
Yeah.
I feel like there's going to be games here that neither of us have played. Do you want to rank based off what we know, or if neither of us have played it, just be like, no?
Yeah, I think if we don't know enough about it,
okay,
let's not.
We'll do case by case.
Yeah, we'll do case by case. I'll say I haven't played it, and I think it should go.
All right. And we're just waiting on producer Jeff. Take your time, man. No worries. Let's talk about Octopath Traveler 2.
Yeah, tell me about it,
bro.
So how long are you? Like, how many hours do you have in it?
I'm about 17 hours in.
Okay. It's a lot.
Not. I don't think it's a
Okay.
lot. I don't want to give too much away because we're gonna do a review here. I'll say this first and
Do you already
foremost.
the game? Okay.
Yeah, I do. When I'm playing the game, I'm just sucked in, and when I'm not playing the game, when I'm at work, I just think like, man, I can't wait to fucking get back to play Octopath Traveler 2. It is really good. I don't want, like I said, I don't want to give like full blown thoughts, but like, man, the writing's really good, the music's really good, it's I'm really happy with it.
That's good.
Yeah. All right, perfect. So let's get right into this. Dev, you also have the tier list ready to go, I think,
Yep.
because we're going to be filling them out so we can have our own reference points. All right. Let's start in order, I guess. First up is Bully. So I would like to petition Dev that we look at Bully as the Scholarship Edition, which is the upgraded edition that came out on the Xbox 360.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you play the original Bully,
Yes.
or did you play the Scholarship Edition?
I played the original Bully.
Okay. Scholarship Edition, it's really just HD with like extra classes and some extra content, and the 360 controller is just way better than the PS2 controller.
Okay.
All right, so we're obviously gonna have to like move some things around. This is an S tier for me.
Okay.
I think Bully is one of the best games Rockstar has made to date. Really love this game. What are your thoughts on Bully?
I would give it an A. The only reason I wouldn't give it an S is because I remember playing the game, and I think I played it a few years after it came out. I played it late, and there was a lot of like, and this might be different in the one that you're talking about, the Legacy Edition,
Scholarship Edition.
There was a lot of like just quality of life things.
Oh, yeah.
The game felt very dated when I played it, but it was still really fun.
I would want you to play the Scholarship Edition then, because
Okay.
Scholarship Edition I think really kind of makes the game a lot better. And to be honest, when I think of Bully, that's all I can think of because I haven't played the non-Scholarship Edition
Mhm.
since I was like 14.
Okay.
So, but yeah, for me, I think that Bully is just it is a game that is able to be on its own. It rests on its own laurels, or not. It doesn't like it. It doesn't have a name like Grand Theft Auto to fall, to lean on. And I just think that this is a game with really good writing in a really awesome setting that works really well. It's really fun. It fits the gimmick of being a school kid.
Yeah, the whole thing is just a cool idea that hasn't been done again, and it sucks.
I just want to Bully too.
Yeah,
Like,
just do it.
Just
Maybe
make it
that's
another.
after GTA 6.
I really hope so.
Yeah,
I really
hope so
do.
too.
Okay, so we gotta get this started. So you're thinking A, I'm thinking S.
Yeah, I'm thinking the highest A.
We could put it in the highest of A for right now, but I'm probably gonna want to readdress this
Okay.
as we get along. All right. Next up is the original Grand Theft Auto. Look, I played about 5 minutes of the original Grand Theft Auto. I understand it kicked off the franchise. That's not that good. I would put this in D, if not F. It's
Well,
it's not my kind of game. It's an overhead Game Boy. It was also on PlayStation 1. Like it's not for me at all. If this was what Grand Theft Auto still was, I probably would have never sat down and invested time in this franchise.
Really?
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, some people like it. It's a product of its generation. When it came out,
Yeah, I agree
this
with
is what
that.
they could make.
It does look like it. Like it does look very
Yeah, it's just
handheld.
And I think GTA 2 is like a little bit better, but not really.
I would put this as at a C. I don't think it's.
A C.
Yeah, I don't think it's. Like I think it was. I think it for a product of its time. I don't know. It just looks. It still looks fun. Like top down, driving, getting out of your car, shooting, getting in a car. It still looks fun. Yeah, I would give it like the lowest C grade. I don't know if I can put this in D, personally.
I don't know. I mean, I'm pulling up some gameplay right now to kind of just look at it again. It's been a few years.
I'm sorry, I have to disagree with
Now,
both of you.
What'd you say, Jeff?
So I got to disagree with both of you. This is the game that kicked off the series, and I grew up on this game. This goes in B at the least.
No, I mean, like, I get it. All right, so producer Jeff, you've played this game much more than we have, obviously.
Yes.
Sell me on this original game without saying it kickstarted the franchise.
Okay,
I'll give you
so
bonus points, but,
I can
need-
see if you're not a fan of that top-down thing, but I actually really enjoyed it. You could still go steal cars. You still went and raced your cars. You still got into the fights with the police and stuff like that. I loved this game. The second one was a lot better to me, but we'll get there. But I loved it.
Okay. Well, okay. So my follow-up question, because we also have to rank GTA 2, where would you compare GTA 2 to GTA 1?
Yeah, I think that's a good question.
Oh man. So it's basically the same game. They just made it look much nicer and added a few things.
Okay.
I would probably just have it behind it in the same B category. Like 2 would be ahead of it in the category.
Okay. All right. So then
I think based off of that, I'd be willing to put 2 in B and 1 in the highest C.
Okay, I'll go with that for now.
for now I'm okay with it. We'll see how it shakes out.
Yeah, we'll see how it starts to shape out there.
Jeff, next up, what is this British GTA thing?
I have no idea.
All right, we're just gonna skip it. Haven't played it.
Just put it in the haven't played.
Put it in the haven't played. Don't know. Don't know.
I wonder if that's the
I just don't recognize it.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Can we look? Can you look up GTA like series releases in chronological order? I think they could that be the movie? That wouldn't be the movie. I know they made like a British movie for Grand Theft Auto in the early days. I don't know if that would be on this list though, because it's a movie. It's not a game.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is. I'd have to spend a few minutes on Google.
Deborah's looking it up right now. Let's see what Deborah can come up with here.
Does it have a name or is it just
The logo is just GTA on top of the Union Jack with a red arrow pointing right. And then I guess GTA has a blue circle around it. So, yeah.
Ow.
No, I can't.
Okay, so we're just gonna have to put it in haven't played.
Yeah, we're gonna put it in haven't played.
Yep, we're gonna move on. All right. Next up, we finally get into the 3D space with the release of Grand Theft Auto 3. Look, I'm just gonna say it. The game is aged really poorly. I think it's I think that especially with what precedes it in the future. See? Like, here's the thing. It's super like number one, people are gonna be super nostalgic for it. And number
Okay.
two, it paves the way for the future in like a big way. So I don't know how much you want to include that into the ranking, but I've played Grand Theft Auto 3 from start to finish, including the definitive edition, which obviously was, a nightmare. But so my favorite thing about Grand Theft Auto 3 is how it ties into the next two games. The fact that it's a shared universe, like that's my favorite thing about the game. I think that generally the game doesn't play nearly as well as Vice City or San Andreas. So I mean, I would say this is like a high C, but I would say I'd rather play this than GTA 2. So I mean, if it ends up in B, I guess that's just gonna be what it
Yeah, I
is.
feel like this should be in B in front of GTA 2.
Okay. All right, producer Jeff, we're gonna put that B, the top of B for GTA 3.
Top of B, okay.
All right, next up, Grand Theft Auto Vice City. So this is one that I really actually like. I have almost no time in this game, admittedly. I really want to play this, but I haven't yet. I was hoping the definitive edition was going to be that in for me on this game, but it wasn't. But I've heard that this game is phenomenal. I've heard nothing but great things about it. Did you have any time in Vice City?
Yeah, I played a little bit of Vice City. I didn't play story at the time. I was really young and I just wanted to mess around.
Yeah,
It does, in my opinion, has the best music of like the trilogy.
that's true. I've heard. Well, I disagree, but it does have a good soundtrack.
Yeah, I think it does have for me, it has the best soundtrack of the trilogy. I like the vibes of like the 70s, kind of like, I don't know. I liked Vice City a lot.
Okay. So do you want to put it above GTA 3 or
Yeah, I would put Vice City at.
you played GTA 3, right? Or no?
Again, that was another one I just messed around with. Not
Gotcha.
as much as I did with Vice City.
Okay.
Vice City and San Andreas are the ones I played the most of.
San Andreas, you played with
Yeah,
me,
I played
right?
the full.
Yeah. So you're saying put that ahead of GTA 3 on B?
Yeah, I would put that. Yeah, I guess I would put that the highest B for now.
Okay.
I want to say lowest A, but I think
That's what I was thinking. This should be an A for now.
Okay, lowest A then.
Yeah.
Not in front of. I don't think in front of Bully. I do.
No,
think
Bully.
No, no way. No way.
is-
Amazing. Okay. Next up, let's get to what I hope is an easy one. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is an absolute fucking S tier. This game is a home run grand slam in my opinion in every single way. I think that like obviously this is still kind of early for Rockstar, so the story like the writing is kind of crude at some points, but that's just Grand Theft Auto. But I think that the writing is really funny and enjoyable. The setting is really enjoyable. I think the game holds up for the most part, outside of some bad character models, which get worse in the definitive edition somehow. Um, the music, I understand that you love Vice City's soundtrack. I think San Andreas' soundtrack is the best soundtrack in Grand Theft Auto, period. I don't think that any Grand Theft Auto game has had a better soundtrack than San Andreas. Um, and I'm willing to die on that hill.
Okay.
I think that it's incredible. Like absolutely masterpiece of a game. S tier for me.
I'll agree that it's S tier. Replaying it, I don't think gameplay wise it holds up,
I think it does.
but I think everything else it holds up story wise and everything else. I don't think even when they redid the shooting to make it easier, and it was still like
Yeah.
it was the driving is fine. The driving is I had no problems with the driving, even though I failed some driving missions a bunch.
Mhm.
But the actual like shooting and controlling the character, to me, that doesn't hold up. But everything else to me holds up. Even the character models, I know they looked funky, but I still thought they looked good.
Yeah, no.
The story lines in San Andreas they're just fun. Like it's just fun.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
So
I agree with that. But I do agree with you that it's S tier.
Okay. Any opinions on Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, producer Jeff?
I mean, I was as soon as you started talking, I already threw it in the S tier, so there was just no question from me there.
Okay. Next up is Grand Theft Auto Advance. I've heard of this, never played it. I haven't heard anybody talk about it. Actually, I think it's just a remake of the first game. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah,
Was it
I'm not sure
Grand Theft Auto Advance. I think it's just a remake of the first game, but for the Game Boy Advance.
for GBA. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna look it up.
Oh,
Oops.
so it's a top down set in Liberty Cities.
Okay.
With
Yeah,
the new,
I'm looking at some gameplay. It looks like an over. Oh my god, this game does not look. I think this game looks terrible.
I mean, it's a GBA game.
It is a GBA
I think
game.
I think if you liked GTA 1 and 2, you would probably like GTA
I think GTA
Advance.
1 and 2 looks better than this, just because of how like it just the graphics are just very jarring to me.
24 million units sold. That's insane.
I mean, it was for a portable. Nintendo is the king of the portables. I'm
Yeah.
not surprised. At this time, this is the first time Grand Theft Auto was on a portable.
Yeah, that's crazy. San Andreas, 5 million units sold. This is 24 million. And I'm guessing this is like an initial release. That's insane.
That's interesting. Okay. Well, so I haven't played this, so I mean, I think it looks bad, but I don't.
I wonder if that's wrong because
24 million. That doesn't sound right.
yeah, GTA 4 sold 25.
Yeah, I'm not buying 24 million people bought Grand Theft Auto on the GBA. Especially considering I've never met someone who owns this game and I've never played it, like or talked about it. Like there's no way that 24 million bought this game. That has to be incorrect. Maybe like 2 million bought this game. Or 4 million. But no way, not 24. All right, well, so I don't have an opinion on this except that I think it looks bad. So I'm kind of up for either not played or like
Yeah, I'd be fine
D.
if it happened.
I would say D. It looks like garbage in my opinion.
Yeah.
Does not look good.
I just threw it in, haven't played. None of us have played it.
Okay, that's fine. All right, next up is Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. So I've played this. It's kind of like GTA 3. It takes place in the same map. It's Liberty City. An extension of the story. I never beat it, but I've probably got like halfway through, I'd say. I'd say I enjoy GTA 3 a little bit more. At least my big thing is that your character talks in Liberty City Stories, which I like. I think these are kind of dead even for me. Have you played this?
No.
Okay, I'm willing to put it under GTA 3 in B.
Okay.
All right.
Although I think the game looks much better. I think it was a PSP game originally, but I played it on PS2. Next up was Vice City Stories. I've heard not great things about this game. I haven't played this one either, admittedly.
I haven't played it either. I don't know.
I haven't heard good things though.
I mean, is it just like I see it's a spin-off game for the PS2, PS3, and the PSP.
So Liberty City and Vice City Stories were PSP games that were ported to PS2.
Okay.
Because much like Nintendo is king of the handheld, Sony just fumble their handhelds all the time. So they ended up porting these games to console because I think they just didn't, I don't know, didn't do well or whatever it was. They wanted to sell more copies. But yeah, I don't really have an opinion on this one either. So
Yeah, I'm not sure about this one.
okay, we can move this one to haven't played. Next up is Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars. This was for the Nintendo DS. This one I again have also not played, but I want to try it because I've heard it's actually like I've seen gameplay of it, and it seems like a really interesting experiment that they did. Like it's like, hey, the drug dealers come and cut up the cocaine.
It's definitely for me. It's the best looking of the top down.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
I love the art style of it.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. I've heard good things, but I haven't played it. So I mean, I don't know. A lot of these handheld ones in the early, like once we get a little bit later in the releases, I mean, I've played pretty much everything. Everything that came out after San Andreas from Rockstar, except for like the racing games, I've played for the most part.
Okay.
Um,
I'd be willing to put this. I don't think it belongs too low.
no, I think this game actually looks good. I think it actually does the top down a lot better. I think it's because it's not a straight up top down; it's more of like a slanted top down. Which I mean, like I know that some people are like, "Oh, it's the same thing." Like, no, it's not. It's not the same thing. It looks better. It looks way better.
I think it should go somewhere in B. Personally,
Okay.
probably between GTA 2 and what do we have there?
I mean, since I haven't played it, I would just say it has to go below
bottom.
Liberty City Stories, but that's just me. I
Okay.
think it looks way better than the first two GTAs though. Okay, so we're gonna put it under Liberty City Stories. Grand Theft Auto 4.
Oh.
I think we're gonna have a disagreement here, maybe. I don't know.
think
What do you think about Grand Theft Auto 4?
for me, Grand Theft Auto 4 almost feels like the Smash Brothers Melee of the series.
Really?
I feel like so many people talk, especially the DLC, the Ballad of Gay Tony. I hear so many people talk about like that game, GTA 4, and that DLC for some reason.
Stick with the base game because the next thing is the DLC. They
Okay.
count it separately. So
Just the base game, I think like there's so many references that people talk, like the bowling and the phone call. I do think,
man, my God.
yeah, I feel like this game is A or S tier, just based off the fan base. I don't think this is a very low hanging game. This feels like the game that people always go back to when they want to go play. When they want to play an older GTA game, they go to GTA 4. That's what it just feels like to me. So
I fucking love Grand Theft Auto 4.
yeah,
I really appreciate it because it was, especially after San Andreas. Like I love San Andreas, but San Andreas is very funny, very goofy, very silly.
yeah.
GTA 4 is not that. It is a very serious Grand Theft Auto. It still has the satire there. It still has like the tongue in cheek stuff there. But this is a very dark story that really goes places. I think the writing's really good. I think Liberty City is this like I mean, obviously GTA 5 is great, but like I think this is the one world that felt real.
So for me, that's the one thing, and I agree with you. It does feel real, but for some reason that takes me out of it. I don't like the world of GTA 4. It's very
It's gloomy.
Yeah,
and,
very
yeah.
gray
That's
and-
that's New
That's what I
York.
like about it.
Have you ever been to New York City? It sucks. It's almost as bad as New Jersey.
I can confirm he is telling the truth.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Here's the thing. You might not like it for that, but the Liberty City in GTA 4 is absolutely New York City. It is the truest embodiment of what New York City could be. They nailed that so hard. It is so on point with what New York City is.
I guess, yeah.
Like I fucking love this game. I absolutely love this game.
I wouldn't personally. I wouldn't put this above Bully.
So this is the problem, right? Like I think I agree with you, but that's why I think Bully should be an S tier because I think San Andreas, Bully, and GTA 4 are all S tier games.
I'd be willing to put Bully, move it up to S. I do think this should be the highest A, GTA 4.
I'll compromise and say that Bully goes to S, but GTA 4 goes right behind it on S. You even said when we first were talking, you were saying A or S. So you're okay with S?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess put it in. I don't think it should go below Bully. That's what I'm gonna say for now.
I'll agree with that. I mean, I think that like we could really sit down and kind of hammer it out. Where I don't know. Those are both excellent 10 out of 10 games. But I'll compromise and say move Bully to S, and then GTA 4 goes in S behind Bully.
GTA 4 goes where?
It's going to be S tier, but Bully's going to get bumped up to S tier as well.
Yes.
Yes, it's going to go behind Bully. Okay. Next up is the DLC, The Tales from Liberty City. For me, this is A. I really enjoyed the first DLC, Lost in the Damned. It was a really cool DLC that kind of made you feel like you were in a biker gang. Missions were hard as hell. It was a really hard DLC, like really hard. But and Ballad of Gay Tony was good. It was enjoyable. I didn't love it. My favorite part about Ballad is that it really ties in with GTA 4, like the base game, the story. Um, Other than that,
I always hear a good stuff about it.
it's good, but Lost in the Damned is like excellent, and Ballad of Gay Tony is like great. So I'd be okay with putting this at the top of the A tier, personally.
You said top of the A tier?
Yep, top of the A tier, unless Dev has like a.
That's fine with me.
You're gonna
Okay.
put a DLC on top of Vice City?
Hey man, it's GTA. It's an extension of GTA 4. It is GTA 4 with new stories. Actually,
Okay.
GTA 4.
Okay.
and the other thing is that I think about Lost in the Damned is that also really ties into GTA 4 story, because I don't want to spoil it, but like, I mean, I guess it's okay to spoil a game that came out like
Yeah, go ahead.
2006. So Roman, your cousin, gets kidnapped in the base game, and the first DLC, you actually end up being the one that kidnaps him. That's up like the whole end of the game, and you don't know you're kidnapping him, if I recall correctly, until like you're like, this is the guy we're after. It's like, oh fuck, it's Roman. Roman, my cousin, but we're not cousins. Um, yeah. So I love Lost in the Damned.
I do feel like it should.
Lost in the Damned is so good that they bring back the main character to die in GTA 5.
I think,
That's how good it is.
yeah, I think they should stay attached. Personally, I think the DLC should stay attached to the base game.
So you want to bump that to the bottom of the S tier? I would just say top A tier, because there isn't like, it lacks substance. I mean, like, they're both
But
really
they're
good. They're great
extensions.
They're great DLCs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The DLCs to the game that you have on top of.
All right, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Bottom of S tier then for that. Okay,
We'll just attach it to the hip of 4.
yeah. Okay. All right. Next up, Grand Theft Auto 5. All right. So where would you rank Grand Theft Auto 5 then?
You're gonna hate this. I already know it, and that's
Don't
okay.
do it. Do it.
I do think this.
Don't.
This is that GTA 5 is the first GTA game. Like, oh, it's the most fun game for me. Like, I just love GTA 5, and I didn't think I would like the 3 characters. I remember, and the development of it, 3 characters at the same time. I hate that idea. Playing it, it was like I don't know, 3 good stories, 3 good characters. You hated some of them, you liked some of them.
So here's the thing.
I think GTA 5 is for me the top of S tier right now.
Okay, so here's the thing. Grand Theft Auto 5. Excellent game. Love Grand Theft Auto 5. I agree with a lot of the stuff you're saying. I love the writing in this game.
Yeah.
I love that it starts outside of San Andreas.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it does a lot of cool stuff. The 3 protagonist thing is awesome.
Yeah.
The game's visuals are incredible, especially the upres, the Series X versions.
Just like the intertwined story between the 3 characters, like
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Franklin.
I'm not disagreeing with any of those things. Is bottom of S tier. Like, I'm sorry, like, outside of the fact that it came out sooner, like, I think San Andreas is a better game. I think Bully is a better game. I think GTA 4 is a better game. I would put it above the Liberty City, or the Stories of Liberty City, but you want to include that as one joint thing. Now, here's the thing. These S tier games are all 10 out of 10s. Not taking anything away from GTA 5. I just prefer San Andreas and 4. I think 4 feels like a much more real world. Like, I love the world of 4. I love the story a little bit more in 4. While yes, it is really great to have the 3 characters in the world. Like, that's a really, really cool thing. That's that game's like thing. If you ask me, like, what game has the best writing, San Andreas 4 or 5? I barely remember what happened in 5. And I played 5 since I played 4. Like, Like 5 is more recent to me than 4. I don't remember what happens in GTA 5.
I mean, I do.
I remember like some of the big points, but generally speaking, I don't remember like the story really that well.
The two things that took me
Like Franklin's trying to make money, and the other two characters, which why am I blanking on their names? Michael and Trevor. Like they were from the past heist, and they're separated now, and they end up getting together, and the three of them do heists. And I love this game. I do. I just think that the story and the writing is better in San Andreas, Bully, and GTA 4. I think that the world is better in at least GTA 4.
That's where
San Andreas feels like a state. Uh, San Andreas in 5 does not. I think that even though it's weird because Los Santos is absolutely bigger in 5 than San Andreas is in San Andreas. But like when I go through Los Santos in 5, I don't feel like I'm traveling a whole state. Like in San Andreas, even though it's a small ass map, like in today's standards, I feel like I'm going across an entire fucking state. Like I like the map in San Andreas better.
San Andreas
And
feels
GTA
more like a whole city, not a state, though.
I think it's the other way around. It's a
You
state.
think it feels like a whole state? No.
What do you mean? You have San Fierro, you have Las Venturas, which is Las
Yeah,
Vegas.
They feel like
Yeah.
there's 4 parts of a big city.
I just disagree. I think that they're separated by Whetstone and all of the like the rural areas. Whereas GTA 5, I just feel like GTA 5 is just the city of Los Santos, and then it loops through the like a very small condensed, like San Fierro and Las Venturas aren't even in the game, which I think that's a big miss for me. I don't like the idea that you scaled backwards. Like I feel like you went backwards. I understand Los Santos is bigger, but I just personally I loved having the different locales of Vegas, San Francisco, and LA. I think that like just having that stuff and you got rid of it, like it's a step backwards for me.
I don't think it's not so much they got rid of it. They kind of expanded on what like that one section. They zoomed in on a section and just made it more diverse.
But I don't think that made it better.
But I disagree. GTA 5 for me has the best world.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
And it controls better than the other games, and that for me is why.
I will give you the control thing. It definitely controls better than San Andreas or GTA 4. Bully, I think it's
over. Bully to me,
I think Bully's controls are fantastic because there isn't shooting mechanics outside of the slingshot.
Yeah, no, that's true. But GTA 5 for me controls the best, and I do like the world better.
So I'll give you the controls thing. I'll say okay, yeah, controls. Other than that, I would rather play San Andreas or GTA 4 for if you talk about any other thing, any other aspect of this game outside of the controls. Can't do it.
Yeah, I disagree.
For me, it's bottom of S tier. Still an excellent video game. Bottom of S tier.
I think at the very least, but
I would be willing.
Bully and San Andreas at the very least. It is better than GTA.
I'd put it below Bully. Like that's the absolute highest I'm willing to go, and even then, I don't even know if I believe with what I'm saying there.
Yeah, I got it right in the middle for you guys because I'll put it below Bully, but above 4.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it'll stay there then.
All right,
right there in the middle.
Excellent game. Not taking anything away from it. Love it. It's great. All right. Devero's upset, but it's okay. He'll get over it.
If it is what it is, I can see myself playing GTA 5 again. I will never play San Andreas again unless it's on another. Like I think they're putting it on VR. I'll play it on.
Well, to be fair, I see myself playing all of these S tiers again. Yeah. That's how I look at it. Like again, like we are talking very minuscule like differences for me, but I can lay it out. Grand Theft Auto Online. Okay, here's the thing. We're gonna disagree here. We're just going to. Mm-hmm. Is a B. Is a B. It's a B. I mean, granted, I spent more time in the early days than I did like in the current years. Mm-hmm. But I mean, my advice to them would be like, well, maybe make your service a little bit better at the starts. It was really bad.
I mean, service games are always bad in the beginning.
That's not okay though. I'm not gonna give it a pass for that.
That's not okay, but
I know Mr. Live Service game. Like, it's okay if the game sucks for the first year as long as it's good eventually. Well, you're a live service guy, so I just assume that's how you.
I'm a good game guy. I like good games.
Oh, me too.
I think this game. I think GTA 5 or GTA Online is like.
It's a B.
When you play GTA, and I think even before 5, all you're thinking is, man, this would be so much fun if I could play with like my friend. From GTA, I want to say 3 onwards, you're just like, man, this would be so cool if both of us could be in this world together and all that. And then you get GTA 5, and it's possible, and it's.
So here's the thing.
And it's fun. It's a big sandbox, it's a huge sandbox, and you're playing with your friends. I don't know how that's B tier at all. And then on top of that, all the stuff they give you, like you get raids now. You get like there's multiplayer shooting.
I can just go off my experiences. I don't know. I understand it might be better now, but my experience.
Are we talking about like GTA Online, like the GTA 5 Online, like that people play right now?
Yeah.
Okay, this has an entire world created inside of it that exists on Twitch. I'm not sure if you guys have ever seen it, but the No Pixel world, they've completely like modded the game and made all the cars real. They've made a lot of buildings real, and people actually have jobs throughout the entire city.
Yeah,
And
I know.
it is incredible to watch as like a spectator. I don't even play it, and I watch constantly.
The Philadelphia
So
Eagles,
like,
when they bond together, they play GTA Online together to bond.
No, I get it. I get it. All right, I'll tell you what. I'll compromise here because again, I can only go off of what I played, and I played the first 6 months of it, and it wasn't good.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh,
I agree.
no, yeah. It's a whole new world now.
I'd be willing. I'd be willing to place it in A.
Judging games on their worst state.
Yeah, it definitely goes in there.
I can only go off of what I played.
No Man's Sky.
I can only go off of what I played.
The only thing that would stop me from recommending.
What I played?
Yeah, go off with. You said for the other games we're gonna go off of like the kind of the ecosystem of it. This you're going
to an extent.
You're going off the worst time period of this game's life, and that's what you're judging it off.
Well, I mean, also I do have an issue with GTA Online.
Now, real quick, the only reason I don't even want to put it into S tier is because it took those mods to make it as good as it is. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, but I definitely
that's not
believe
really
it's
development. That's just mods.
Yeah.
It's true though.
It's mods. It's mods.
No, that's true. I'm saying I don't think people enjoy it just for the mods. I think the mods are like icing on the cake.
So here's
even on like regular base, like GTA Online, it's just fun to play GTA with your friend. Like he's in a car and you're in a car next to him.
Sure, yeah, I know. I'll give you that.
And then you have missions on top of that. Like I just
so full disclaimer also, and you're gonna be like, oh, let's throw his opinion out. I have a legitimate bias against Grand Theft Auto Online because they were working on fucking story DLC for GTA 5 that included bringing CJ back from San Andreas. The actor that played him confirmed that they did do this.
Okay.
They brought him in and they had him actually record lines to get started. And they scrapped it because GTA Online was so successful. They wanted to just focus on that. I will never forgive them for this. I will never forgive it for CJ not coming back because this thing exists. So that's a bias that I'm 100% willing to own and wear on my chest. I refuse.
Doesn't make the game any worse.
Yeah, for me, it makes me dislike it. Makes me dislike it. They stopped making a story expansion that would have done really well because they wanted to make the online move. So I'm sorry. Yes, I'm going to have a bias towards it. So I mean, I'm not going any higher than A.
Oh, I agree. A.
Below Vice City.
Okay, below between
Okay.
Not the bottom of A, but the middle of A.
What else is on A? It's just Vice City and online.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. LA Noire. You haven't played this. It's on our list for you to play.
Yeah.
I love LA Noire. I'm not going to say S tier. This for me is top of A, but like maybe bottom of S if I'm really in the mood for it. This is a really, really awesome game with a really cool concept. Detective game.
I've seen some of the detective stuff, some of the goofy faces, I know all that stuff, but this does seem like an A tier game.
It's really well made.
I don't know anyone who like hates this game.
It's a really well made game with a really awesome concept, especially for when it first came out. The fact that this is a 360 PS3 game is kind of crazy, like with all the facial animations and the facial features. So this is a game that, you know, you're playing as a detective. You go to the crime scene. You're looking for clues in the crime scene. You're interviewing suspects and witnesses. You have to determine whether they're telling the truth or lying based off of their faces and the clues that you're given.
Yeah.
And they actually consult. I remember watching like a making of the game. They consulted with like actual detectives and like people that like study lying and truth telling and stuff. And like they had the actors like, okay, well, people lie when they do this. So they had the actors do that because they were lying. Like it's just a really awesome game. For me, this is top of A. Love LA Noire. The Manhunt games.
Where did you guys put that LA Noire? I'm sorry.
Top of A.
Top of A.
Yeah, love it. It's a really good game. All right. Next up are the Manhunt games. Never played them.
The only thing I know about the Manhunt games are all the news stories of how
Jack Thompson, this son of a bitch.
Yeah, how violent the game is and how it's
ruining society.
And I don't even know if it's a good game. I just know that it's very.
It got buzz. Yeah, it got buzz.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, have you ever played the Manhunt games?
I have not.
Okay. We're just gonna put him in haven't played.
I was
Yeah.
gonna put it in C.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable doing it, so that's just not.
What about Manhunt 2 then? Because I would put
Same
that
thing.
in.
I would put that in haven't played.
Okay.
I mean, I think one of them only got an AO rating, and then they had to change it. So that doesn't make
Putting
it
both of them in there, right?
Yeah. The Max Payne games. So I've played 1 and 3. I own 1 and 3. I got
to skip 2.
Well, so here's the thing. I barely played them.
Okay.
I got a really good deal a few years back from a coworker. They were getting rid of some of their stuff, and hold on, guys. Excuse me. Oh, I got a really good deal where I got 1 for the PS2 and 3 for the 360 for $5. It's like, okay, collecting. So, played a little bit of 1, played a little bit of 3. Not enough to really have a really legitimate opinion. I think 3 was. I played more of 3, probably an hour. It was good. I like the bullet time thing mechanic where it slows down time. You're kind of diving around, shooting. It was cool.
This game to me, based off of what I've seen from the community, this feels like Rockstar's Splinter Cell game in a way.
Well, the interesting thing is that Max Payne was actually made by Remedy, I think.
Was it?
Yeah, Max Payne 3 was made by Rockstar, but I think they bought the rights off of Remedy. I think the first 2 games are Remedy games, actually.
I would put all the Max Payne games.
Devroro, can you turn around behind you? The PS2 games to the left of the Among Us guy. Can you grab? Nope, down one. Can you grab Max Payne and tell me if it has Remedy on the cover? It's there. It's one of the 5. It's alphabetical. Yeah, grab it.
Yeah, it's Remedy.
That's crazy. He
Remedy
knew
what?
exactly where that was.
Well, it's because it's alphabetized. Everything I have all the game. Everything's alphabetized and categorized by consoles. So
Published by Rockstar.
published by Rockstar, made by Remedy. That's fascinating. Was 3? Uno momento. Devroro, talk.
I think all 3 of these games should be an A, personally. Just
So you've played these?
I haven't. I haven't played them. I've watched playthroughs of them. They look like just fun, movie style action games.
So 3 was not made by Remedy. It's just a Rockstar game.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Devroro, I have actually played 1 and 2, and I completely agree with you that they should be on the bottom of A. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, but
they're really, really fun games.
I feel like all 3 of these games have gotten 9 out of 10s in
Okay.
reviews.
Yeah.
I just think they're just great games that
All right, I'm okay with all 3 of these being in the bottom of A.
Yeah.
Because I enjoyed 3 for what it was. I just didn't finish it. All right. Next up is the Midnight Club games. I've never played any of these racing games.
Well, again, I have. These racing games are freaking awesome.
yeah, actually as well.
All right,
what I like about these ones is how you don't have to unlock all kinds of crap like you do in the Gran Turismo and other types of games. Like, you just get in and race, man. That's what I like.
Okay, so which of these are where do you want to put it?
I'll put them as solid Bs. Like, when it comes to racing games, they're definitely not going to be A tier in the racing game scene. So I'd say they all kind of roam around in the B category.
Okay, where do you want to put them just so I have them on the same?
So for the original one, I'm going to go with the bottom of B.
Okay.
2 right behind that.
Okay.
Now, to be honest, I don't think I played 3 or Los Angeles, so we might have to put those in did not played, or maybe put them behind the other 2. I'm not sure.
Dev, did you play either of those 2, 3 or LA?
No, I don't even remember which one I played. I was in a race. I'm not really a racing car person. I just remember this being fun when I played it for a little bit.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll go off what Jeff's saying here. I'm just realizing they include all the racing games, but Rockstar made a table tennis game. It's not on here.
Nice.
I actually didn't even know the Midnight Club game was Rockstar.
Yeah, I knew that. I just never played it. All right.
Oh, here comes the part I've been waiting for.
Okay, Red Dead Revolver is the first game in the franchise, and this is the only thing Red Dead that I have not played.
Okay.
Did you guys play Red Dead Revolver?
Yeah.
Okay, what are your thoughts?
I think it's just an absolute solid game that definitely gave them the confidence to make the next game.
Okay, so where do you want to put it? You think
I'll put it right ahead of Max Payne in A, like right there, smack in the middle.
Okay. All right, let's get to.
That's really high praise for it.
That is really high praise. That makes me want to seek it out if you're saying it's an A game.
I mean, it's just as solid as can be, and it was the how do you say, like, it was the ground being laid
The
for
catalyst.
Red
It
Dead
was the
Redemption, you
catalyst,
know?
the foundation and the catalyst. Yeah, I
Yeah,
could
yeah.
definitely see that. All right, let's get into it. We knew we were gonna get here. It's the Red Dead Redemption games. Let's start with Red Dead Redemption number 1. This game is absolutely fucking incredible. I would put this. I mean, I think it's better than GTA 5. So like, if I had my way, the S tier would be. Oh man, actually, I'm having a moment right now where like, is Red Dead Redemption better than Bully?
Say it.
Oh,
Say it.
Deborah, I need your thoughts on this.
I think I would have to say, yeah,
It's better than Bully.
it's better than Bully.
Hey, we all agree on this one, I think.
Like I'm having that come to Jesus moment when I'm like, oh, but I really love Bully. Like,
I think we
yeah,
need to see.
I think John Marston is one of the greatest characters in the history of video games. Unironically,
Yes.
I
Oh
just
yeah.
think he's so phenomenal. Just the writing, the character direction, his motivation, his ending. This game is just This is and the fact he comes back in the second one is just fucking so incredible.
I
So
think what we should do for the DLC is put it right with the game like we did the other one. I think DLC shouldn't be.
See, I get what you're saying. I love the DLC, but I would rather play Bully or 5 or 4 before I play Undead Nightmare. I think Undead Nightmare tells a totally different story. I mean, it's still in the same world. It's still really good. So okay, we'll put Red Dead above Bully. I don't want to put Undead Nightmare above Bully though.
no.
Okay.
I feel pretty strongly about that. I would put Undead Nightmare above or it at the bottom of the S tier. It's still really good. I still love it, but it's like that's bottom of S tier for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Now I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any video game ever made you want to watch a YouTube video where somebody clipped out only the storyline with like all the gameplay gone?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have actually watched the Red Dead Redemption, like it's like a movie for me, like multiple times.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I think Red Dead Redemption is so excellent and so good. Just no, chef's kiss. Plus, the multiplayer was really fun. No one really talks about Red Dead 1's multiplayer. And I would also say this because you were talking about GTA Online. I'm not saying it's better, but GTA 4's online was also very fun. No one really talks about that. It also had a free roam in it. Well,
Yeah.
you know. All right, let's talk about Red Dead Redemption 2.
I think this is probably the top of S. I think this is probably their best game.
Okay, so
I think I think this game is better than looking at what we have here. I do think it's better than the original. I do think it's better than San Andreas. I don't even think San Andreas should be the top of S. I do think that this game should be top of S personally. It's better than Bully, that's for sure.
Jeff, what are your thoughts on Red Dead 2?
So when this game came out, I was big into Twitch streaming and my viewers were like Fortnite demanding. So I missed Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay,
That's
okay.
rough.
You got to play it, especially if you love Marston.
Yeah,
The
now I really
epilogue,
want to play it after.
especially the epilogue, Jeff. I don't want to spoil anything, but you got to get to the end of this game. Okay, so here's my story with Red Dead Redemption 2. I think have I told you my story about it?
I don't know.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? Red Dead 2 came out. I was so excited for it. I remember reading everything about this game going in, like all the stuff that they were talking about, like how like in the cold weather, like you make sure you wear a jacket because you'll catch a cold and your horse's balls will shrink, and
Yeah.
make sure you shave because you'll go into town and people will hunt you down and kill you because you have a beard because you look like an outlaw. And so I went into this game and I tried to play this game and I fucking hated it.
Wow. I don't think I've ever heard that
No,
first.
I have to tell you the story. And I fucking hated it. Just like I could not get into it. I felt at every possible moment I needed to like, okay, I did a mission. Oh, I got to go back to the camp and shave. I see the beard growing.
Oh, you were like stressed, like.
I was stressed out because like reading all this stuff, it's like, hey man, if your horse's balls shrink, you're gonna go slower. And I'm like, okay, well then I really want to make sure I have a horse with big balls. And like so I'm sitting there like trying to enjoy the game, but I'm just like stressed out of my mind.
Okay.
I played for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not enjoying this. I don't like this. And like meanwhile, I hear the outside world like this game is incredible.
Yeah.
The reviews are giving it tens, and I'm like, I don't understand what is wrong. So I put the game down.
That's a question.
I left it for 6 months, and I would just like people would talk like, "What do you think?" And I was like, "Didn't like it," and I'm like, I don't know, I can't like, it just I was so stressed out. I wasn't enjoying myself. Like the story just hadn't really picked up yet for me.
Now, are you about to tell like a Horizon story? Like a Horizon?
Absolutely, I
Okay.
fucking am.
All right, go ahead.
So 6 months pass, and I'm talking to somebody. I don't remember who. I think I was at work, and like something made me like, okay, I need to try again. Because like I was talking to somebody, and they were like, "This is my favorite game of all time," and I'm like, I gotta go back in. Like I gotta try again. And I sat down and I really thought about it. And I was like, what happened the first time around? And I kind of like diagnosed it. I was like, because I talked to Forrest about this with Pokemon Legends Arceus. There is a right way to play a game and a wrong way to play a game. And I was playing Red Dead Redemption 2 very wrong. Those things are there, and you should definitely pay attention to them when you can, but you should not base your entire experience. It's not, and that was what it was. I was playing it like it was that, and I constantly kept getting like, okay, well, I want to play the story, but I gotta go do this that I don't want to do. Like it felt like a real life simulator. It's like, oh, I gotta go make sure I go and get a shower. I don't want to stink when I go into town. Like it wasn't fun. I went back and I played this game, and I was like, you know what? Whatever happens, happens. I want to get through the story.
Mhm.
If I have the time to stop and do these things that are in the game, I'm gonna do it. And I ended up absolutely fucking loving this game.
That's good.
The second playthrough, I'm so happy that I went back for it. I'm so glad that I did.
Out of all these games, it feels like peak storytelling.
Number one, I agree with that completely. I think that the writing is just so good. The storytelling is so good. You get, Jack Marston's back. You got it's a prequel, so you get to find out what happened with Dutch. This Arthur character. This game made me cry at the end multiple times, both sadness tears and happiness tears. I was moved by this game, and like I don't want to spoil things because I do want Jeff to experience it, whether it be watching a playthrough or playing it.
Mhm.
There are little things, and like Jeff, if you go and you play it or you watch it, I beg you to tell me when you're done, because there's something that happens in this game storyline wise that I found out about. Admittedly, I found out about.
If it is, we'll talk about it when it's over.
Well, yeah, I found out about it a little bit.
Because you wanted me to know so badly.
Yeah, and the fact that like this storytelling is so beautifully done, it's so subtle. It's so subtle that you would have no idea on your first playthrough unless somebody told you.
Yeah, you told me because
You would have no idea.
Yeah, you wanted me to just like you were like,
It blew my mind.
yeah, you're like you told me I was gonna play the games one day, but I had to see this because
It blew my mind in terms of what a narrative
that's really cool.
what a narrative in a video game could do. This is the top of the S tier for me. As much as I have nostalgia for San Andreas and I love San Andreas, this game again, it made me cry, it made me feel things. I felt so emotionally invested by the time I hit the credits. And then there's more after the credits, which again, you gotta fucking do the after credit stuff because that's my favorite part of the game. And again, I don't want to spoil it for Jeff, but like, man, that epilogue is just like the epilogue had me crying. I was like, this is crazy. This is absolutely insane how emotional I'm fucking getting playing this game. Yeah, this is top of S tier. I absolutely love Red Dead Redemption 2. And hopefully I've convinced Jeff to go and find out Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, I'll definitely check some of it out.
You have to.
What do we have left?
We have Red Dead Online and the Warriors. Maybe we should have gotten these out of the way first because it's very anticlimactic.
Now, is Red Dead Online
I've played
Red Dead 2?
So it launched with Red Dead 2. The service died.
Yeah,
it straight up died. I played a little bit of it. Didn't care for it at all.
Yeah, I heard that they didn't give this the love that GTA 5 got, which it should have gotten.
Honestly,
GTA Online, I meant. GTA Online got more love than this, and I think having a cowboy simulator, I don't know, I think it should have gotten more love than it did.
I agree. That being said, what I played didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
I'd put it at the very bottom of C.
Okay. And what's the last
I had it
one?
in D because it freaking failed. You want to go C?
No, go D. I like D.
Go D. You did not pass the test, to tell you that much.
Yeah, that's true. Last is the Warriors. Never played the Warriors. It's on the PS2. Never played it. It's based off
No,
a
that's an
movie.
awesome movie. I can't believe I never played the game. I didn't even know it existed.
I've heard that it's good, but I just haven't played it. So I have to put it in the haven't played for me.
If you haven't seen the movie, I definitely recommend the movie.
I'll have to check it out. All right, that is our Rockstar tier list. So just to run through the top ones real quick. At the top of S, we have Red Dead Redemption 2, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Red Dead Redemption 1, Bully, Grand Theft Auto 5, Grand Theft Auto 4, Tales from Liberty City, and then wrapping up the S tier is Undead Nightmare. And then the A tier real quick, LA Noire, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, GTA Online, Red Dead Revolver, the Max Payne trilogy in order. The B tier, GTA 3, Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories, Chinatown Wars, GTA 2, Midnight Clubs 1 and 2, the C tier, GTA 1, and the D tier, Red Dead Online. How are we feeling about this list, guys? I feel really good about it for the most part.
Yeah, I do as well.
The
Yeah, I
only
think
thing
it
I
looks
would
pretty good.
change, the only thing I would change is GTA 4 and 5. I would just swap them. But
I would swap Bully in 5.
okay, well, I mean,
Oh,
I think
wow.
I think it's a pretty damn great list. Bully's fucking fantastic.
But
I want to
I think it shows Rockstar doesn't make bad games. Like,
I think we talked about this before. Where the only games to outsell Call of Duty are Rockstar games.
Yeah.
Rockstar is the only other company that outsells Call of Duty for that year.
Yeah. I would go as far as to say like more modern, like not modern day Rockstar, because San Andreas is definitely not modern. But I mean, like, yeah, I think that you hit a point like where like
It's just
they just don't miss. The ball just rolled.
yeah.
Like
And
GTA
the thing
3 for me is the
yes,
is the
but
catalyst.
I think that's why I like about Rockstar. They don't.
Yeah, they could put out yearly games,
Yeah.
but they don't. They go back into the lab and then you'll see them in 6-7 years.
I'm okay with that. Like
I am too. Like
I know people really want GTA 6, and it's coming, and we're gonna get it. And there's a bumpy road because it's leaking, and it's always But I don't think it's gonna miss when it drops. I don't think they want it to miss. I don't think they care about.
Yeah, no, they
want quality, and I appreciate that.
I also appreciate that. I wholeheartedly agree. I love that they take their time, so much so that GTA 5 came out on 3 different generations of consoles.
Yeah.
Like that's a bit much. I'm sorry. Like I am glad that they're patient, but like
I don't think it's not Skyrim levels bad yet.
Stop it.
It's not Skyrim bad.
There was no need to have GTA 5 come out on.
You don't think the GTA 5 should have came out on this current console?
I don't know. It just seemed like I think, or because it's like the point of it. It's like it came out on the 360, and then they did an Xbox One release, a PS4 release, and they did the Series X, PS5 upgrades releases. And it's like 3 generations. That's a bit much.
It's one of those games where I feel like last year was probably the best-selling game for a few months, and I don't understand. Like, it's one of those games where people will buy it. You put it out, people will buy it. People just love this game, and you're telling me I could play it, and it looks a little bit prettier and plays a
yeah. No, I mean, look, I get it. I just think that while I am okay with them being patient, 10 years is a long time. Because like
it is.
GTA 5 came out in 2013, and then Red Dead. The difference between those games, I think, was also 10 years. Which again, like I get it, and I'm not like really complaining about it, but it is 10 years. I would like to see them like get to 8. Can we do 8? That's all I'm asking. Like I just don't want to have to wait a decade to play Red Dead Redemption 3. I don't want to be playing Red Dead Redemption 3 in my fucking late 30s. That's all I'm saying. Like I
don't know.
Yeah, I know. I'm really. It's not great. It's not a great feeling.
Yeah, you're not gonna be playing.
I'm gonna be 40 when I play Red Dead 3.
Hopefully, you're playing Bully when you're 40.
That doesn't make me feel better. That doesn't make me feel better at all. I feel worse for Jeff. He's like 70. He might not be around by the time Red Dead 3 comes out. Oh man. All right. Well, this was awesome. This was great. This has been episode 17 of the Game Room podcast. Once again, thank you to everyone who's helping us get to 500 subscribers. Seriously, it's fucking incredible. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't on your way out. Thank you for hanging out with us. Go check out our AEW Revolution and AEW Dynamite content. Dynamite's coming up. Revolution happened yesterday. And get ready for the next week's episode of the Game Room podcast. Will I have Octopath Traveler 2 ready for review? Probably not. Probably not.
Seems like a very big game.
It's a very big game.
Don't rush it.
Oh, I'm not. I won't.
That's good.
I mean, like, we saw Fire Emblem Engage came out, and I spent 3 weeks playing that. I could have rushed that, but I didn't want. I don't do that. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to review a game that I'm going to rush through.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Now, that being said, if companies want to give me an early code, I will spend a week.
Happily, yeah.
I will get that out by embargo. Oh, I will crunch that.
Yeah.
Absolutely not sleep. No, I know. Cat life. But anyways, thank you everybody, and we will catch you guys next time.